Hello and welcome back to Style with Substance blog. Today's video is about buying a house. So it's 10 steps to getting a mortgage, getting yourself on the property ladder and essentially buying a property. This video is mostly for my UK based viewers because I'm not really familiar with the worldwide or global laws for property purchasing, but you know, some of the steps will be quite relevant to lots of people around the world, so listen in, take note, and I hope you enjoy it. So step one, get your finances in order. Now there's three parts to this step really, so the key things are to do a credit check, speak to a financial advisor, an independent financial advisor or an IFA, and step three is to make sure you have all your financial documentation. So with a credit check, you can get one from Experian. They do a 30-day free trial and it produces a report for you, shows you any finance agreements you have, so mobile phone bills, mail order bills, car hire purchases, loans, anything where you're paying back on a monthly basis, it will show it in your report. And if you're paying back regularly or on time and you're not missing any payments, then that's great. And I think one of the things that people really get confused with when it comes to mortgages is, oh, I have too much debt. Yes, there is such thing as too much debt, but lenders, particularly the people that are going to give you your mortgage, want to see that you can borrow and you can pay back responsibly. So if you've got a loan and you're paying a phone bill and you have your car hire purchase charge, i.e. you're leasing it, and you're paying that all back on time, that looks great. And in fact, you'll have a better credit rating than somebody who, for example, doesn't have any debt and just pays everything outright whenever they get it. So credit check, get your credit score, and it should be above average. So average or above, and there's like a number weighting to it, so I think as long as it's above 500, you're good. So financial advisors are trained in giving you all the information that you need to make a financial decision as far as the commitment that you want to take when you're getting a mortgage. So you want to see a financial advisor, and what you want to take to them is your most recent payslips and your most recent bank statements, so they can get an idea of your outgoings and your incomings, and what essentially they will tell you is what kind of house you can afford, i.e. what you can afford to pay up at the top end. A lot of financial advisors also are mortgage brokers as well, so they will be able to work with you to pick, whoever will give you your mortgage or lend you the money. So you want to see a financial advisor, you want to give them all your information so they can make a really good assessment, and they're really good at giving general financial advice for things that will help improve your profile as far as lenders see it. But yeah, it's a great way to get your finances in order. So that's step one. So step two is pick a lender. So I did the peace sign there. So what you want to do is you want to either check with your bank to see if they can give you a really good rate. And when I say rate, I mean interest rate. So when you're getting a mortgage or you're buying a house, unless you're, balling, you will generally get your mortgage from a well-known lender or bank. Now, when I talk about rate, I mean the interest rate. So this is the rate that they add on to your monthly repayments when you're kind of paying back your mortgage. So two options are to check with your bank, see what mortgage products they have. And when I say mortgage products, they have lots of different ones with different rates and different benefits. So for example, you might get a mortgage product which gives you a 4.5% interest rate, i.e. that's the rate you pay on the money you pay back, and also gives you a free survey, and a survey is something that they have to do on the house just to make sure it's all, not going to fall down and break. And they also might give you some cash back when you complete, so when you've gone through all the paperwork and you're ready to buy your house. So check the best mortgage product with your bank, and then also speak to a mortgage broker. So when I was buying my house, I'm still going through the process of that, our financial advisor is also a mortgage broker, so he was able to check the entire market and see which lenders are providing the best product for us. And because he was our financial advisor, he knew our financial situation, and he was able to give us like a really amazing mortgage product with the chosen bank that we went with, and at a great rate and with some great benefits. So pick a lender and pick a good one. So step three is pick an area. So It's a really difficult thing because if you're not wanting to buy in the area that you live in, i.e. because it's too expensive or because it's got a high crime rate, hopefully you don't live anywhere where there's a high crime rate, you really need to rely on research and talking to people and finding out where's good to live and where's not. So look around. What I did is I firstly looked at where I could afford, and then I looked at areas within that sort of realm that were not sort of too far out and then at the same time not too kind of far into like the city centre or whatever. So I use Rightmove and Zoopla, and those are really good at telling you what an area is like, or you can even Google in the town name that you're searching in and see what people say about it. So type in, I don't know, what is it like to live in Blackheath, for example, and you know, you'll get people who are really honest. I would say though, take that with a pinch of salt because everybody's got their own opinion and it's all subjective. So in order to pick an area, you need to go there, you need to look at it, you need to see what it's like, see whether there's enough young people around or young families, if you're at that stage in your life. If you're younger and you're a working professional, are there is a city centre, like nice shopping centres nearby? Are there other young professionals like yourself? You know, basically just pick somewhere where you feel comfortable, you feel like you get a good feeling from it, a good vibe, and then you should start looking at properties within that area. So step 4 is view lots of houses. I mean lots. In my time in searching, I think I saw about 50 houses, honestly. You can never see too many, and the way to do loads in a short space of time is to pick a weekend where you're not doing anything. So clear out your schedule, pick a Saturday and a Sunday, sign up with your local estate agent, sign up to Rightmove, sign up to Zoopla, register your interest in anything you see. So you know, you fill out like a contact me form on Rightmove and the estate agent or whoever it is will call you back, and you just line up loads of viewings. So on one day I lined up about 5 viewings, and you take, what's a really good tip actually is to write them all down, write down the like basic stats about them, and then have a grid at the end where you put your notes, because if you see loads of houses in one day, trust me, you're going to forget what you've seen. So that's a really good way to keeping in mind what you liked, what you didn't like, and then at the end of the day you can really think about it. Although sometimes, you know, you go and see loads of places and half of them are crap and then only one of them actually stands out. So yes, so view lots of houses. Step 5, pick a solicitor. So pick someone who is either recommended to you by a friend or family or colleagues, so somebody that someone has worked with before, because what we found is when we were doing comparisons, so we were getting quotes from loads of different solicitors, even the ones that were recommended to us, and the one who was priced the best was the one we went with, but nobody we knew had ever really worked with them before. Luckily they were all right actually. So you have to really make a toss up between, do you want to spend less or do you want to get a really good service, because you get what you pay for with solicitors. So I would, having done it, I would really recommend going with somebody that has been suggested to you by a friend or family, because they will know exactly what that organisation or sort of firm is like to work with. So pick a solicitor, pick a good rate, get lots of comparisons. You can do that online now, like it's really easy, or you can just get them to send through a quote. And they'll base that quote on the price of the house, on what your stamp duty will be. So stamp duty, for those that don't know, is the tax that you have to pay on your house. And it normally ranges from anything from 1% to 2% to 10 to 5%. Yeah, it ranges basically, but it's an additional cost that they factor into their fees, and they do all their searches and the survey and all sorts. So get a good quote, get a good solicitor, you know, go with your recommendations and you should be fine. Step 6, put in lots of offers. So if you see somewhere and you like it, put in an offer. Seriously, like there's no limit to how many offers you can put in. So if you see 3 places, you like them all, put in an offer on all of them. Because you're not legally bound at that point. Like you are only legally bound, to be honest, when you sign your contract. So you can drop out or pull out at any stage if something better comes along. So put in an offer if you like something, or you like a house, or you like loads of different houses. Put in an offer on all of them, because there's a lot of competition in the market as well. So you might not be the only person that has viewed that place. Therefore, you need to have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Trust me on that one. And when it comes to how much of an offer you put in, so when I say put in an offer, I mean bid. So it's like bidding. If you've ever been on eBay, it's kind of the same, but not as easy. So if a house is on the market for £350,000 and it's been on the market for a really long time, you can put in an offer under, actually, because if it's been on for such a long time and no one's snapped it up yet, it means that the owners are going to be quite flexible on what they'll take. So you could put in an offer of £330 if you wanted, and if they're that desperate to sell it, which to be honest they probably are if they've still got it up there, they might take that. So don't be afraid to put in an offer lower than asking price. But if you know that you've been to see a place and 5 other people have been to see it the same day, put in an offer at asking price. So asking price is the price that they've advertised it at, and really be prepared to go above that, because the way that the market was when I was looking, more buyers than there were sellers, so prices were going 10-20k above the asking price. So yeah, put in lots of offers and see where that lands you. Step 7, work with your solicitor. So once you've put in an offer on a place and it's been accepted, this is where your solicitor is really going to come in handy. So at this point, they'll do a survey on the house to make sure that it is valued at the correct price and that you're paying for it. So normally your lender will have a surveyor go in, like do lots of checks on the house, you know, make sure that it's not like on ground that's just going to be swallowed up into the earth, you know, all that technical stuff. But there'll be surveys done, land searches, they'll be asking you for paperwork. Just work with your solicitor and don't be afraid to like ask lots of questions, because they speak in jargon and they'll start telling you about, you know, locums and fee earners and all this sort of stuff. And if you don't know what it is, you know, don't pretend to. Like, ask them, what is that? Like, they speak in their own made up language. Okay, it's not made up. But yeah, ask lots of questions, be in constant communication with them, and yeah, work really closely with them. Step 8, really weird hand, get organised. So once all the legal paperworky surveys stuff has been done, you need to be ready to like get things going. So you need to have saved enough money, ideally, to buy furniture if there's going to be nothing in there completely. So things like carpets, curtains, sometimes you need like fresh coats of paint. It depends on the kind of house you bought, to be honest. So you should go and view the house several times after your offer's been accepted. One, so you can get measurements, so you can, you know, buy furniture and that fits. 2, so you can get an idea of the state that it's in and the kind of work that you're going to need to do. And 3, just so you can really familiarise yourself with the area, because this is your chance to really take a deep look into where you're buying and the neighbours and what the people around the area are like. So use this time to do your research, get yourself organised, start packing stuff if you need to, getting stuff out of storage, whatever you need to do to get yourself together so that when the next phase comes, you're ready to go. Step 9, patience. Buying can be a very lengthy process, and you can get really lucky and it goes through smoothly in 2 months, or you can be really unlucky and it can take 6 months, which is what I'm going through at the moment. But you just really need to trust in the process. Everyone knows what they're doing, you know, they've got certain things that they need to check off. So be patient, but be in touch. I often find that sometimes solicitors, estate agents, financial advisors, mortgage brokers, the seller, lots of people in the process can be really, sometimes they can be not as quick to move things along. So by all means, like, email at least once a week to get an update on what's going on and what they're doing and what they're waiting for. But most of all, be patient, because some of these things take a while and it might depend on a third party or whatever. So yeah. Another thing that I probably should have mentioned earlier to consider is when you're putting an offer in on a property, or you see a property and you like it, find out whether there is a chain. And by chain, I don't mean 2 chains, I mean how many people are involved in you buying that house. So if it's chain free, it just means it's you buying it from one person. If there is a chain, it means the person you are buying it from is also buying a property from somebody else, who is also buying a property from somebody else, and it can get really, really lengthy. So ideally you'd go for a chain free property, but if you see something that you really like and there is a chain, just go for it and just be ready to be patient. But some of the really nice places that I saw did have chains, so you have to be open-minded, and you have to really just have time on your side. Now I was moving from home, or I will be moving from my parents' house, so there's no time pressure on me, but if you're renting, you really need to kind of make sure that you have enough time until when your tenancy agreement runs out to when you move in. So you've got to be really organised. So patience. Step number 10, the 10th and final step is to savour the moment and enjoy it. I don't mean enjoy the process, because I'll be honest with you, it's not all that enjoyable, but I mean buying a house is a really big achievement, and it's something that you should really be proud of. Getting on the property ladder these days is really difficult, so once it's all completed, and when I say completed, I mean the process of completion. So when your offer's been accepted, all the searches have been done, the survey's been done, everything has been approved and is fine, you will go to exchange. So at the point of exchange, you will sign a contract, pay your deposit to your solicitor, the seller will sign a contract, they will send that contract to their solicitor. Then at the point of exchange, both contracts are exchanged, the deposit for the house, the solicitor will have that in place, and then they will then request your mortgage advance from your lender, and that will go over to the seller. So money's exchanged, contracts exchange, and then completion, which is essentially when you get the keys to your new crib. So enjoy it. When you get to that stage, just be really proud of yourself, because buying a house is no easy feat. It takes a long time, but if you commit to the process and if you trust in the people that you're working with, then you will get over the finish line, and then you can focus on exciting things like decorating and buying furniture and, you know, really like setting up your life in that place. Because, you know, some people buy a house and it's an investment and you're going to rent it out to other people, but some people buy a house and it's a home, it's where you're going to start your family. So yeah, I think really enjoy it and really savour that moment, because it could be the beginning of the rest of your life. So yeah, those are my 10 steps to buying a house. I hope you found that helpful. I hope you found it really informative. I've tried to keep it really general and keep it really vague, because there's a lot to cover, but those are the main points. I'm going to also link in the description bar a few really useful websites that you can use. Things like a mortgage calculator, which will tell you kind of what rates you'll pay or what deposit you'll pay and that sort of thing. But yeah, if you have any other questions, leave a comment in the box below. Thumbs up the video to let me know that you like it or you like this kind of thing, and subscribe. There'll be more of this coming, more advice, more financial videos. So yes, thank you for tuning in and have a great day. So I went to Boots yesterday, got some bits from there, and yeah, I'm not going to ramble